What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Deathloop being delayed. It's pretty easy. It's a pretty simple and straightforward news story. Deathloop has been delayed from May 21st to September 14th. And it's basically just to work on the game, obviously, to complete it. So it's around a 4-month delay. This game actually, remember, has been delayed before, so I believe this is the second official delay that this game has had, and this is a hit to the PS5, and I'll explain why. This is not like anti-Sony or pro, some competitor or something like that. It's just simply talking about Deathloop. This is a game that I'm excited for. I just made a video yesterday, or I recorded it, and I talked about some of the biggest games coming out in May. Now, that video is going to be a little outdated when it comes out for you guys in a few days, because I talked about Deathloop in that video, but I'll keep it in. It'll kind of be like a funny maybe like throwback, but the game is something I'm anticipating. It's got all of the feel of Dishonored, and then probably more. And while I'm not the biggest fan of Dishonored, simply because that game just didn't connect with me, I completely understand why everybody loved it, okay? I think this game could actually be even better than Dishonored. And so obviously you're going to have the initial feelings of a delay, which I have. And I talk about delays so much on this, more in the last year than I think I ever would have wanted to in my entire life. And it's just been, 1 year. I don't think this will ever happen to this extent. Again, I guess knock on wood, right? I've talked about a lot of delays, and I always do say, if it's for the best of the game, whatever. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's okay. I feel like it's completely fine to be disappointed. It's even, I would say, fine to be annoyed or upset, whatever word you want to use. But because it's understandable. It's like you want the game, you're going to be giving them money, and then you don't get the game when they, I guess, promised you it. But I promise is a tough word there, right? So yeah, I feel like it's fine for people to get upset when games get delays. Obviously, taking it to the next level of like threatening and attacking and stuff like that. That's not okay, but I have that too. At the same time, I am fully in support of delays. I'm okay with them because at the end of the day, as long as, and I always say this, I'm going to make this my trademark when it comes to delays, and I haven't heard anybody else say it, I guess the way I say it, but as long as the game comes out in a better state than it was when it was supposed to come out, the delay is worth it, and the delay is warranted, and all of that good stuff, right? So that's where I stand. I'm disappointed that Deathloop is moved. I understand it. Okay, it's understandable. People have been asking me, a couple people have been asking me over the past, I'd say, week or two, we look at these games in May and we look at the games in June, and it's like, all right, like we're getting close. We've had an abysmal January through right now. Okay, there's been games. I love Hitman 3. I love Little Nightmares 2. It Takes Two is my game of the year. So, there's been some really good games, but they are so far and few between. And now we're about to get game after game after game after game. Truly. Returnal, Resident Evil, Mass Effect. It was going to be this game. Knockout City, that dodgeball game from EA. Biomutant. In June, you got Final Fantasy. You have Ratchet and Clank. You have Scarlet Nexus, which I'm very excited for a game like that. So you have all of these games, and we're actually going to get more games in a month and a half than we did in the first 4 months of the year, okay? So it is time to talk about, all right, which ones are in danger? You know what I mean? Would Mass Effect be pushed? Would Resident Evil? Resident Evil's safe. Mass Effect, I would say, is very safe as well. Obviously, Deathloop was that game. It's like, okay, well, I personally thought it was safe, but I guess I was wrong. Ratchet and Clank is probably that next one that we should be looking at, wondering if it's going to be okay. I hope and think it will be, but that doesn't mean that it's going to end up happening. And again, moving into September, right now, we don't know all that many things that are coming out. September, really, Kena Bridge of Spirits comes out in August. There's a few games that come out in July and August, but for the most part, after June, there is a bit, let me say this, for my gaming knowledge of watching this stuff play out for 5 years on YouTube and then even longer in real life, this always happens. Now, it doesn't happen as barrenly, is that even a word, as this year. This year is very barren, there's nothing out just in general, but normally you have a couple months that we are solidified, that we know all these games, and then there's literally nothing that we know of past it, and then we get events such as this year's digital E3, and then it fills in the gaps. So right now, July through November, not a lot going on. In fact, next to nothing is going on except for a bunch of delayed stuff and possible games, okay? But I think around E3 time, around that June, July, August time, it'll all fill in, which is exciting because that means a lot of announcements and a lot of just hype for all these things. So it is disappointing. One final thing I'll say, for PS5 specific, that's why I titled it this way, it is a hit. It is a hit because you look at what the PS5 has so far, and let's be honest, and I'm a PlayStation guy, okay, but let's be honest, it doesn't have much, okay? It's got Demon's Souls, it's got a few other, Astro's Playroom is a phenomenal game. It's got a couple, but this was the next one. You know, you look at, well, let me say this. I guess Returnal is the next one, but I don't know how many people are that into Returnal. I know I am. That's a second one buy. Like, literally the first second the game is out, I will be playing it. So I can't wait for that, but I think Deathloop, considering it's Arcane, you know, Dishonored, you know, all that, Bethesda, all that connected to it, I think Deathloop was going to be a pretty solid thing, and now it's not happening there. So, you know, you only have to wait another 2.5, 3 weeks for the Final Fantasy VII, you know, upgrade, as well as the Yuffie DLC, as well as Ratchet and Clank. That all happens June 10th and 11th. So you don't have to wait that much longer than you were going to wait, but Deathloop's gone. So that's a PS5, and remember, it was only on PS5, so that is just not there anymore. So it is disappointing. It does hurt for a PS5 owner if you were looking forward to that, because if you got a PS5 and you want an exclusive game to play on your system that you cannot play anywhere else, I guess you could play it on PC, but anywhere else, you know, that was the game, and now it's not going to be there. So that's a little disappointing for sure, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm still going to get it day one, so now sign me up for September 14th. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed again, and we're all good. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? Are you disappointed? Do you understand? Were you going to get it anyway? Are you still going to get it? All those questions, let me know in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on. We're getting insanely close to 3,000 subscribers over here. I think we can do it very, very quickly. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on tomorrow's video.